President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that allows employees to invest in private assets through their 401k retirement. What does this move mean for how you should manage your retirement savings? Has argued that opening 401ks to private assets would give ordinary retirement savers access to bigger returns and more investment options. To give you some numbers, BlackRock recently estimated that adding private market assets could bump up returns by about 50 basis points a year and lead to 15% more money in a 401k plan over 40 years. While generating higher returns is important, you should note that financial experts caution that the potential of higher returns can also come with downsides. First off, private equity's entrance into retirement accounts could push costs higher for investors. Another concern is that private assets tend to be less liquid than the publicly listed stocks and bonds found in a typical employer-sponsored retirement plan. This means it could be harder for Americans to take out money from their plans before retirement should they need to access their savings quickly. Finally, there is greater risk involved. Advisors point out that it is often harder to assess and value private assets because there is less information publicly available.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. Number.
This is not Democracy Now!
Off the presidency. That's the head.
Let's stop that. Sorry. This is a bit of a rough opening. What's up, everyone? How's it going, everybody? What's up, Abby? That was a shitty. We fucked up. Sorry. A bit of a long day.
Clicking's going a little slow. My clicking's going a little slow.
Yeah, and I had started the same video as Abby, and it sounded to me like they were playing at the same time. So I don't know if that was bad audio. I was
wondering what happened.
I hope
I was trying to figure out where that was coming from.
Well, I didn't see, like I turned the music down to get the show started, and I didn't see the video ready to play. So I was like, okay, wait, I don't know, maybe I'll get that ready. Okay. So anyway,
it's not that long. Should I just play it again?
Yeah, there's a second clip actually. Maybe we should play. And before we do that, though, we have a guest that we're bringing on tonight. A bit of a surprise because we didn't promote him in the title or anything. But tonight we have Gold Monarch here to speak with us. So hey, Gold Monarch, what's up?
Hey everybody, it's good to be back. Miguel, Abby, and to everyone who knows me, it's me.
Well, right now, thank you guys for showing up because I know we're a little late today. I had a little emergency. But Sean's here, Rondo's here, Mastermind is here. And that's who's commenting so far. There's some people lurking in the back. Yeah. But hi everyone. You know that video, Golden Monarch, like should I play it again since it was doubling up, or what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead and play it again.
Okay, and then I have a comment about it because
plus there's really another video
pisses me off.
And I think there's a follow-up that we have.
Yeah, I have it. They're both very short. The follow-up is even shorter than this one.
Okay.
Why don't we see? Oh. All right, here we go.
Is to invest in private assets through their U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that allows employees to invest in private assets through their 401k retirement plans. What does this move mean for how you should manage your retirement savings? Here's what you need to know. The industry has argued that opening 401ks to private assets would give ordinary retirement savers access to bigger returns and more investment options. To give you some numbers, BlackRock recently estimated that adding private market assets could bump up returns by about 50 basis points a year and lead to 15% more money in a 401k plan over 40 years. While generating higher returns is important, you should note that financial experts caution that the potential of higher returns can also come with downsides. First off, private equity's entrance into retirement accounts could push costs higher for investors. Another concern is that private assets tend to be less liquid than the publicly listed stocks and bonds found in a typical employer-sponsored retirement plan. This means it could be harder for Americans to take out money from their plans before retirement should they need to access their savings quickly. Finally, there is greater risk involved. Advisors point out that it is often harder to assess and value private assets because there is less information publicly available.
So, I have a question. All right. Pause it. Okay. Let me shut up. Okay. Private equity firms, a lot of them, they invest in companies, like extract all of the assets out of the country, out of the company, and then move on. It's like they're not all of them, but that's what's happening a lot around the country. Am I correct in saying that? I feel like I am, but if I'm
Oh
getting
no,
something
absolutely.
wrong, let me know.
No, absolutely. Look, this is what's the word for it? It's called capitalism. Effectively, capitalism allows these big conglomerates, these corporations to effectively within legal loophole means, mind you, they allows these companies to just go about exploitive means, screwing other customers, other competitors. It's all about who can make the most buck at the end of the day, who can make the most profit, and nowadays that we're seeing the rise of the whole late stage capitalism, and now that you're seeing the rise of like AI and digital currency propaganda and such, and even robots. You're eventually seeing like this whole like almost like a make do over of where capitalism could be going from today to onwards. So from the likes of like BlackRock to the World Economic Forum to billionaires like Elon Musk and such, and there's so many others. These guys are trying to like they're still to this day obsessed with this whole notion of control. They think that we need to have everyone and everything in order to satisfy our gritty ass needs. And meanwhile, we the people are like, how long are we just gonna stand by and remain complicit? So I have just
So
Oh, we have a delay. What's going on?
was there a delay?
don't
Could you
know.
hear me or no?
I thought Abby had a comment she was going to
No,
make.
we couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did, but then I realized he was just he was still talking. He wasn't finished. He was just taking like a moment. So I was trying to let him finish.
Oh, no worries. Let me rewind back a little. So basically, you got all these companies that they can do whatever they want. Capitalism enables them to do whatever they want, and I'm just I'm asking myself, when are we the people? When are we going to actually effectively stand up to this? Because the longer that we do effectively nothing, then the easier it is for all these conglomerates and these corporations to effectively like control over us. So now that we got Donald Trump back for a second time around, basically he's just resuming off from where he left off with his first term. Well, that's not to say though that of course this is solely Donald Trump. I mean, this has been going on for decades upon decades with different administrations. The buildup has just become more and more intense, and more like people are feeling more like the pressure that hey, how am I going to be able to afford to pay my rent, or how am I going to afford to pay for my utility bills and such. So it feels like more and more everyday Americans are even more tighter with their money, and so
I wanted to get your opinion. Considering what we said about private equity firms, okay, so now private equity firms are going to have access to your 401k, which gives them more liquid. Am I saying that right? Liquid money to purchase more companies. Okay, well, they usually come out on top. So is that actually going to help our 401k while it's tearing down like all the companies that we have that service our communities, or is it the other way around where they're gonna start gambling even more because they're using other people's money, and it's going to actually hurt our 401k because they don't care if they lose the money or not, because the taxpayer is going to bail out Wall Street in the end. If anything ever happens, we pretty much always do. So I'm just wondering where are they going to go with this?
Well,
if that makes sense.
On the right track.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion. So right now, we don't know the full details of how and when companies are going to be enforced to now incorporate private equity into 401ks of employees. I want to hope that employees still have the option, as they always have, to select wisely as far as which options they can choose from. So typically the options are narrowed down to just your index funds, your mutual funds. You've got like your growth and income, growth, aggressive, and such. But
moderate,
moderate. But and maybe a couple EFTs here and there. But never in history has someone proposed something as crazy as, oh, let's incorporate private equity and crypto into 401ks. How is that gonna how is that gonna incentivize people now? Are they gonna just opt in because they can, or how? I'm concerned how are your average day employee, where are they going to get this incentive that, hey, let's roll into 401k of crypto or private equity, and maybe it'll be okay. Nothing will go wrong,
Yeah, that's how I think they're going to incentivize them, is by trying to convince them that you can make money if you just buy into the capitalist ideal that if you invest in the market as a worker, you can make money just like the wealthy people or whatever. You can make money. But then they're just going to be the new suckers to the table, and they're going to get cleaned out, and that's going to disincentivize a whole big bunch of people. But as long as they extract more money from us in yet another grift and pull the wool over our eyes again, they disempower us by doing that, and we're kind of back to square one. So it's very effective. It's sadistic. We have to stop falling for it.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because when you're young, they tell you to invest aggressively, and then as you get older, take it down to I think there's something under moderate, right? It's aggressive, moderate, and then I can't remember, but you guys get what I'm saying. So I'm wondering if everybody's like, oh, well, I'm just not. Even if you're young, I'm not gonna go aggressive. I'm gonna go the low level. I wonder if that not isolates, protects you from private equity firms accessing your 401k. You know what I mean? That hasn't been discussed yet. We have no idea how this is supposed to work.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't have the answer to that, because again, we don't quite know just yet how they're going to exactly implement the private equity and crypto options into people's own 401ks. All that's happened is Trump has passed an executive order. So obviously there's going to be a bunch of other politicians, crypto bros and gals are going to probably try to incentivize other suckers to hey, get ready for this,
Mm-hmm.
They're trying
Jacqueline,
oh yes.
Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
I want to say hi to Jacqueline because I know it's late for her over there. And and I'm glad Bad Cookies mentioned this. I'm going to read out loud because this is another kind of point I wanted to make. I think we discussed this before. Something crawled. Oh, that's my tag.
They were already
So Bad Cookie says 401k shouldn't exist. They took the burden of paying. Wait, am I? I'm in the wrong comment.
That's the next one.
401ks are a hustle. Yeah. are a hustle and people shouldn't invest in them. The more you invest, the more you support war profiteering and the spread of capitalism. And then 401k shouldn't exist. They took the burden. This is what I wanted to say. So you said it before. I could, bad cookies. Thank you for they. Who keeps doing that? They took the burden of paying for retirement on the worker. They completely took the burden off the company so they can continue to increase profits. Yes. So, and they sold it to you like they were doing you a favor. So I might bastardize the explanation um, because we used to have, well, they used to have pensions, and it was pretty solid. Like you could live off your pension when you retired. Well, they took pensions away because the company was paying for those pensions, and they introduced these 401ks like it was so great. So instead of like giving you a raise that you deserve, they'll say like, "Oh, we're gonna match in your 401k," but you have to put into the 401k for them to match, and they only match by a certain like 3 to 5%. 5%, you're doing good, but it's usually like something inconsequential. Thank you.
Super strong taste.
It's super strong. And then you handed it to me. So anyway,
This is
I haven't tasted it yet. So they basically made it seem like they were giving you a good deal, but they really were cutting into your raises and making it look like it was better than you were getting something better than you were. They basically made you pay for your own retirement as opposed to them paying for your retirement. Like that's supposed to be part of your benefit structure. But they took that benefit away and put the burden on us.
And that word is called and that word is called tax. And yeah, to acknowledge what Bad Cookies was saying. I mean, that's essentially like yeah, it's chilling. I mean, even something as what would appear to be as harmless as say a 401k, it's still gonna contribute. It's still part of that whole like capitalist system notion where effectively your money, whether you're aware of it or not, does go to some like indirect powerful hands, which those powerful hands then have an influence on powerful sectors of the U.S. economy, be it the military-industrial complex, big pharma, the automotives, Wall Street, and especially, of course, now that they're here, the crypto industry. So there's no like, Jesus, like what do we do? Because okay, for so long we thought that okay, if we just do safe investments, what harm could come to us? Well, apparently that's your safe investments aren't even safe to begin with. And it got me thinking. So a while ago, everyone remember how a while ago you had Elon Musk claim that Social Security was a quote scam, right? So now that you have the integration of this 401k executive order, essentially is the Trump administration and their assholes, are they trying to essentially make 401ks a quote unquote scam? Are they gonna maybe if like let's say if people have some doubts about applying for a crypto or private equity within their 401ks, seeing how the Trump administration and all their cohorts go about spreading propaganda that invest in crypto, never sell your Bitcoin, that type of nonsense. Are they gonna try to like also try to gravitate these suckers to like, okay, if you don't want to do your 401k, just invest in a Roth IRA, or invest in a crypto exchange. It's like no matter where you go, no matter where you want to put your money in, effectively it's going to still be used in some nefarious matter.
Well, Sean had mentioned earlier that you could put your money into a private 401k. So like that's news to me.
there's some interesting conversation dialogue in the chat. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Before we move on, I wanted to kind of address that. Sean has a bit of a dissenting view, maybe on the 401k, or maybe a more pragmatic kind of approach.
Yes, he does.
Some people might dismiss our criticism as like and catastrophism, you know. So maybe like there's one thing to understand the problem, but what to do about it. And I do kind of appreciate some of the logic about what Sean's saying. Like he's like put in like 12K for 5% so far that year, and it's worth 63K right now. As far as being able to actually effectively extract that from this gamble, that would be giving us some capital to work with to actually support our fellow working class in a way. But I wonder about whatever the limitations of this approach are. I wouldn't suggest maybe too many of us should try to do this kind of thing, you know.
So two things. One, I wanted to just mention this because I went all around the world with that word salad just to come up with what Rhonda was saying. Basically, they transferred the fiduciary responsibility to the employee away from them. So I could have just said that, but I appreciate that. And then I have a question for Sean, because I don't remember, well, I guess they didn't tell you that you had a choice to put your 401k into a private 401k. They never gave you an option. They're just like, this is the 401k. We're setting it up for you. And this is what we'll match. And that was the end of the story. So are you saying that people have options that just aren't told to them? So when they go to HR, set up their 401k, instead of them telling you what's going to happen, you could turn around and tell them, no, this is how I want mine to happen, and have the expectation that they're going to follow your directions. Can you answer that for me in the chat, please, Sean?
Yeah.
And while he's okay. Yes, Abby. So I guess he's saying yes, you can. So that's interesting. I don't know. Did anybody else know that? Am I the only one?
I don't like to know all this trickery. It's not even a skill I want to come up. Sorry. That's why, you know, if people can
how much they want to control
get some capital for us, I would appreciate that.
If they control you, they don't tell you about your options.
I don't want to know how to be a short seller, but hey, how's it going, Tosh? Sorry, couldn't quite catch what you're saying there.
Michael says hi. She said it depends on how much they want to control you, because if they want to control you, they're not going to tell you your options.
They're going to say you don't have any. This is what we offer.
They're just going to tell you this is what we offer. But I can't imagine a company cares about controlling you through your 401k. Like, it's all the same to them.
What I find is they
only match a certain percentage, period.
The only choices they seem to be wanting to give us are ones that heighten use. That seems to be what the whole plan is. Every choice that we're allowed to make deepens the problem for us.
Walmart give people 10 cent, 15 cent, 25-cent raises.
Damn, Sean, I'm doing something wrong. Damn, that's awesome.
Sorry to kind of get maybe changing the topic somehow, as always happens on Noteworthy, whatever. But
yes,
we were gonna.
And so before you,
article, since we were talking about 401ks, hopefully we can get to. He has got an article about Ripple.
Before we do that, can I just put a cap on this conversation, because he had mentioned Social Security, and so I pulled this up. It's a small little short snippet, and I wanted to find his whole speech and watch it. But this is Trump's Treasury Secretary, and I don't know if this is. I feel like this is a gaffe, but you guys tell me what you think, because he basically let the cat out of the bag. Because they've been coming for our Social Security for a long time, both Democrats and Republicans. But okay, here we go.
If you have these accounts, why are you investing it this way? How are you doing it? How can you understand the power of compound interest? And also, at the end of the day, in a way, it is a backdoor for privatizing Social Security. Like Social Security is a defined benefit plan paid out. If you have these accounts, like, why are you investing?
Okay. So say what now? So backdoor to privatizing Social Security. Any thoughts?
Yeah, these are just. I still think that this is just all about like trying to control what you know and what you don't know, but also to lead you astray as far as what you should know and what you shouldn't know. You know, so I feel like this is the whole scary thing about the whole capitalism and how everything is like it runs from the top to the bottom. Effectively, like it's kind of like as an individual, unless I have some sort of massive networking, unless I have some sort of insider trading knowledge, I'm effectively entirely left alone to find out for myself what works for me, what doesn't work for me. What works for me, like morally, ethically, what also works for me as far as money goes. But look, at the end of the day, I mean, we could be talking about this as much as we want. The point is that capitalism is still it's still like having a damn effect on like the world, the world here and afar. I know that not that I don't know if we'll talk about that much tonight, but essentially other things that the Trump administration, the U.S. as a whole, the military have been still staging is this whole like this whole like upcoming coup in Venezuela, because again supposedly Maduro is a regime. He's bad, yada yada, drugs. I've heard it before. Like,
well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm supposed to be talking about that later. So maybe you can stick around after crypto.
I might, I as much as I'd love to, I don't think I'll be able to stay for much longer.
On replay though.
But I will give you one little preview. So when you do talk about Venezuela tonight, I suggest keeping this person's name in the back of your mind. So I talked about it before via Substack and as well as on chat. So there is a woman by the name of Maria Corina Machado. Okay, she is the Venezuelan opposition type of leader, someone who has for years on end has worked with the United States. She is a Zionist. She has pledged for Israel. She is the young woman who once shook direct hands with George Bush Jr. And last year, Machado even gaslighted and stated that, with Bitcoin, we can use crypto to, get around the Maduro regime and yada, yada. There is a video somewhere, which I'll post on the live chat of Machado was talking with some guy from the rigged Bitcoin magazine. And, when you watch it, you'll eventually see that, even the crypto industry, even like these crypto outlets, they're calling for a war. Are they going about it directly? No, but it's like the whole like passive aggressive type of tone. Because effectively, crypto is financials, and financials means profit, which means hey, we need resources, we need the oil, we need the gold, we need the water. So effectively, Machado, Trump, all that, they're part of the same club. They're here to basically screw us over. There's no good guys to this scenario. And so leading into part two, which is the article I have, which is about Ripple. I do want to get into that a little bit because there's some.
Are you able to share? I'm just not sure.
Share.
Share
your
screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Cool. If you want to share anything on your screen, feel free. Yeah.
Oh, wait. How would I do that?
Okay.
Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to share it for you because if
you could just put it in the private chat, and we'll share it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he sees on his.
Yeah. And while I'm not sure what he sees either, right? So, and then while you're doing
well,
that,
actually, you know what?
This. What is this down here? You did share? No.
I think maybe if we could just quickly find out if you look at the bottom of this of the StreamYard web page that we're on, do you see the microphone, the camera, a box with an X, a box with a plus, a person with a
It's
plus
okay.
on
He
it, and a
just did it
gear
to me.
settings?
Oh,
I'm
this
just
is a
saying,
you.
because if he can tell me that he does see that, then that tells me that he can share his screen. If he doesn't see that, it tells me that he can't. So
I see.
I don't see that. I'm sorry.
cool.
Okay.
Then, yeah, we didn't need to do that live, but we did.
But anyways, yeah. Feel free to check out the link later tonight. I do want to talk a bit about Ripple. So, Ripple, as you know, it's a few things. So one, it's a token. Yeah, of course, it's a token known as XRP, but it's also a
Make it
company.
bigger.
It's one of those crypto companies, and the interesting thing about Ripple these past several years is that they're infamous because they were originally under a SEC case that effectively, like, well, long story short, basically there were some litigations against Ripple. Probably because Ripple, whether was a security, was Ripple actually following through with things. But long story short, now that Ripple can effectively do whatever it wants, it's 2025, right? And with Donald Trump and his, crypto, friends, they effectively run the show. So Ripple is trying to, in my opinion, they're trying to catch up to the monstrous Tether. Tether, which is another like stablecoin company, which if you have to know, so basically Tether is a like a token that is directly tied, that is pegged, if you will, to the U.S. dollar. So whatever influence happens to the U.S. dollar, Tether is there to effectively influence the U.S. dollar. And so, however, and wherever Tether creates their tokens, mints their tokens, effectively they're putting it into the U.S. dollar, and Tether has become something of a almost like an octopus where it just seems to be grabbing everyone and everything. But anyways, back to Ripple. So now that Ripple's back doing whatever it wants, Trump is partnering up with the crypto industry, including Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. So now you're going to be asking yourselves, what is Ripple's role in all this madness? So as I jokingly say, the SEC is dead. So Ripple basically has opportunities to do business with banks, such as Bank of America and MasterCard. So I have down in the article regarding Ripple, Bank of America, and MasterCard. And there's an image that showcases how Trump's so-called SEC, they've been dropping all these crypto cases. So anything that the SEC had a case on beforehand, now the Trump administration has effectively dropped all the cases, all the crypto exchanges, all the the billionaires, whoever that was under the SEC. Now they could do whatever they want. This includes names like Justin Sun, Robinhood, Kraken, Binance, Ripple, of course. And right now, what's going on with Ripple is that they are also emerging with their own stablecoin, which is known as the Ripple USD, RLUSD. So it's going to be another stablecoin that is going to be pegged to the US dollar. So what you're seeing before you is that as Ripple continues to buy up companies, they'll have greater influence within the crypto industry. And I anticipate that Ripple may eventually rival against Tether, because Tether, for all we know, Tether has a disturbing history of individuals billionaires who happen to, funny enough, happen to be connected to Jeffrey Epstein. I did provide a link of another article, not of mine, of course, but of a guy known as Miguel de Cryptadamus, an article called Epstein's Arrest Shook the Blockchain. That's a whole separate article. But basically, the same billionaires, the same people that are involved in Tether, undoubtedly, in my opinion, they're going to be involved in Ripple because they're also involved directly with the Trump administration. So, talking about Bank of America, back in January of 2025, Bank of America CEO Brian Monihai, he had hinted at possible XRP adoption as an everyday use of payment options like Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay. Now, this isn't the first time that Bank of America, mind you, has been a stranger to blockchain technology. They have suggested cryptocurrency before as a means of investment and as a potential practical tools of transactional purposes. Of course, as a critic, I think it's all baloney. I mean, again, this is just all about control. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, Gold Monarch, why Ripple? Why Ripple out of all the cryptos? So, at least according to Bank of America, their interest in XRP has to do with its scalability and its low transaction fees. And apparently, Bank of America has at least 83 patents of applications, ranging from payment processing to identity verification and fraud detection. And, lo and behold, Ripple, they're involved. They're part of that, behind the scenes. So, Bank of America, your bank that, for namesake of the United States, they're not the good guys here. It's kind of funny with Bank of America because if I remember correctly, I think Donald Trump used to highly incentivize Bank of America back then. I don't know if he still does now, but it's interesting how all this seems to lead back to Donald Trump. Now, the next one, the other company that I talked about in this article, it was about MasterCard. So MasterCard, they also want to tap into XRP as a global payment solutions. So since May of 2025, they have recognized XRP as a bridge currency for international payments, as well as being highly efficient and cost-effective. Now, the really strange thing about MasterCard is that back in 2024, guys, there are a bunch of digital trends going on in 2024 besides XRP. They had this I don't know, I don't remember if it was a conference, but there's a PDF, mind you, of what's called the future of remittances in Latin America. Digitalization, multiple rails, and the strategic role of partnerships. It's a long piece of PDF, but the point being is that, and what I found particularly funny is that in that PDF file, which I've linked to the article, they describe XRP as a CBDC, which stands for Central Banking Digital Currency. So, we probably, with so much crypto terminology like Bitcoin,
unless you know
NFTs,
what the numbers and letters are or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know Ripple, but when
it was really, really big though, right? They're saying XRP can be treated like a central bank digital currency when what it was originally was just a private equity kind of meme coin, whatever.
Effectively, yeah, a meme coin, a token. You could effectively call it a crypto, if you will. But it's just, at the end of the day, having been in this, seen this, observed this space for several years now, it's because something of a joke that, they're creating all these, terms out of nothing, like the word meme coin, NFT, stable coin, CBDC, At the end of the day, I mean, no matter which it is, I mean, they're all blockchain technology. They're all digital currencies at the end of the day. I mean, as far as like how each and every one of them implements differently, yeah, there might be some minor differences between them, but at the end of the day, all this talk about crypto and such, it's all this talk is about digital, going digital. No more, no more like traditional fiat. And by the way, just so everyone's clear, I'm not by any means advocating for the USD or anything like that. There's no doubt in my mind that yes, the USD, the fiat, it has had some concerns as of late, especially when it goes about, economic manipulations by the higher ups, the fact that our US government is purposely killing the quote unquote killing the US dollar, albeit by overprinting the US dollar. And then also the US's irresponsibility, mind you, of when they use the dollar, they're not using the dollar to pour directly back into its economy. No, they're pouring it towards other businesses afar. They're pouring it towards wars. They're pouring it towards these insane projects that I don't recall any the government getting my consent for me to like approve with my taxes that hey, my tax is going to go to this program or to this program, to some sort of DARPA, NSA, CIA. Like, hey, I didn't sign up for this, but that is what the United States is. It's effectively one big monopoly.
One massive Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Right. Ponzi schemes within Ponzi schemes. Yeah.
I don't know if this is breaking news or if this is just that it just updated 13 minutes ago, but the article came out today. And it says a court decision. Oh, I should make this bigger. The court decision to toss penalty frees. I think they're saying fees.
Yeah.
Trump family to financial straits. So the president's financial situation had already improved after taking office a second time, thanks to his cryptocurrency ventures. The big takeaway from this I'm seeing is that, Letitia James, maybe I should read this top part. The massive penalty against Donald J. Trump in the New York fraud case last year when he was a candidate came at what in retrospect looks like the most nadir in a lifetime of extreme financial swings. So basically the case is done, and this is the big takeaway. In a lengthy ruling, an appeals court on Thursday upheld the fraud conviction. So they're convicted of fraud, but they threw out the $500 million judgment against him. So what's the fucking point? Mr. Trump and the Trump organization hailed the ruling, saying they had been the target of a political witch hunt. Mr. Trump praised the court in a social media post for having the courage to throw out this unlawful and disgraceful decision. Are you familiar with this, Gold Monarch?
No, not at all. This is breaking news to me. I have to read it more into it, but once again, it just shows you that as CoffeeZilla jokingly puts it, crime is legal. So effectively, we're everything's becoming
depending on who you are.
Depending on who you are, everything's becoming essentially like you're on your own type of mentality. Anything goes. I mean, it's just like. Look, at the end of the day, I think what all this is set up for is so that the technocrats from the likes of like Elon Musk to Peter Thiel to Larry Fink, they are effectively trying to just decide for us what we need and what we don't need. The whole saying of like you'll be happy and you will nothing. I mean, look, these guys are like not human to begin with. They're
I can't stress how everything that they're doing is designed to enslave us and take away every choice that we can effectively improve our situation with. Only choices we're left with are the ones that deepen the problem for us, or whatever, tighten the chains. So people can take that or leave that, but I encourage them to take it, please. Take it seriously.
And this one came out 2 days ago, Gold Monarch. It says, you said the SEC is dead. But this says, is the SEC targeting Alt 5 Sigma? That's what Trump calls his coin. right? Breaking down the 1.5 billion, I don't know what that is. WLFI. I don't know what that stands
World
for.
Liberty
Controversy.
Financial, maybe. World Liberty Financial.
Mm. So
Oh, there we go.
I can read the key takeaways because instead of reading the article, I guess. So Alt 5 Sigma, it trades on Nasdaq as ALTS. Raised 1.5 billion to acquire roughly 7.5% of WLFI tokens. So that's okay. There you go. World Liberty Financial. So you had it right. Aligning with the 7.5% of World Liberty Financial tokens, aligning the firm closely with Trump-backed World Liberty Financial. Okay, media reports suggested SEC scrutiny of John Isaac over alleged inflated earnings and insider stock sales. Both Isaac and Alt 5 Sigma deny these claims, which, I mean, we see how he was doing market manipulation with the tariffs so they could make a ton of money and bragged about it. So I'm pretty confident that they did what they said they did. No formal SEC action has been announced, leaving the investigation unconfirmed by regulators. And even unverified, the rumors have triggered market volatility and investor concern, though World Liberty Financial's tokens or high-profile backers may help steady long-term confidence. So that's the article in a nutshell. You have any comment?
Yeah, I did link to that article recently too. But yeah, it just shows you that even after Trump is, hypothetically, mind you, after Donald Trump is, out of the White House and after he's, I guess, long past and retired, there's still the matter of, his sons, both Eric and Don Jr. They're certainly going to be continuing his discussing legacy of crypto and all that. And then, the people whom Eric and Don Jr. know, such as Michael Saylor and I'm sure Max Kaiser and other billionaires from the crypto industry, these guys are all in it together. I mean,
I don't know his partner's name, but Donald Jr., his partner in their crypto company, wasn't he convicted of fraud, like a money laundering or something, a couple of years ago? He was money laundering through crypto.
Donald
you know what I'm talking
Trump
about?
Jr.'s partner, like wife? You mean his
No,
wife?
no, business partner.
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime.
No, actually, no.
Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna see if I could find it.
I'm sure that Abby's talking about something very real. She usually has a receipt. This kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could find it. But keep going. I'll see.
Yeah, sure. So, just rolling back a little bit regarding MasterCard. Basically, MasterCard's claim in this whole remittances, but which, by the way, remittances is just refers to as cross-border payments. They claim three things, and I don't. Let me go ahead and read the three things that they claim. They claim that remittances will help to alleviate poverty by paying for basic expenses. They also claim that remittances will build financial resilience against economic shocks, and then that they'll provide an immense opportunity to strengthen financial inclusion instead of region. So basically, what I'm reading from all that is just word salad. Latin America, beautiful countries, natural trees, sun, ocean water, everything. In many ways, Latin America has been greatly exploited, much like in Africa, whereby these white conquerors and people of elites. And my concern is that as I see other countries ranging from Venezuela to El Salvador to even Honduras, that I think you shared me a while back, Miguel, Honduras, about Prospera. So you have all these crypto bros, tech billionaires that are just trying to effectively buy off land, effectively exploit
create
people
their own jurisdiction and then just be unaccountable there
and use their resources.
Yeah.
And especially if they go for the oil, they're going to go for the oil to produce electricity, which then they need the electricity to do the whole data mining or the crypto mining, which then raises bills and everything. So it's just like, at the end of the day, somebody's got to pay for all this shit. It's not going to be them. It's going to be the working people. It's going to be the people the local natives.
It's 100% parasitical. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then finally, before I wrap up, going from Ripple, I have a third thing I do want to talk about real briefly. So you know how we talk about how like crypto is generally a Ponzi scheme, be it Bitcoin, be it Ethereum, be it even the namesake Ripple. It seems like more and more there's like a lot of like incentive and pressure for like these crypto conglomerates to try to like pass the propaganda of crypto into younger generations. Your Gen Zs, your millennials. Well, now I'm starting to see that they're even trying to like prey on towards children, like kids, mind you. So a good example I have of that, and it's something I found this out by accident very recently. So I found this article very recently talking about an upcoming kids animated series called, quote, Bitcoin Brigade. You heard me. Bitcoin Brigade. So it's going to be developed by this company. So it's going to come out of this. I figured. So, anyways, it's going to come out of this company called Cartoon Studios, cartoon with a K. And basically, they want to teach kids how blockchain technology works. It's the company Cartoon Studios. It's an LA-based, New York-listed, cartoon, and they want to like place the series at the center of a wider property spanning content, digital education, merchandise, interactive acts, and including a Bitcoin treasury strategy. I mean, you can't make this shit up. But basically, here's how it goes. In fall of 2026, on Cartoon Channel, the series will set Bitcoin up as a vast treasure kingdom. It will follow 5 friends who must defend Satoshi City from threats that attempt to mess with the digital system, keeping it in place. Satoshi, of course, refers to the mysterious person or people or agency, 3-letter agency, who created Bitcoin. So, yeah, you can't make this shit up.
That's awesome.
And I looked a little more into this. So I looked into, okay, who is the CEO of Cartoon Studios? So I did some searching, and I found the name of a guy named Andy Hayward. Now, Andy Hayward, this guy's been around for many years, actually. He co-created Inspector Gadget, that catchphrase, "Go, Gadget, go." He co-created Inspector Gadget. He was part of like that whole DIC entertainment. So, like those like old school Saturday morning cartoons. He was involved in that. And then, he did some other projects. It was
So it's gonna be Go Gadget Crypto?
I guess. I don't know.
That's interesting that it's like this kind of person's been influencing our minds our whole lives and is now moving on to our children. And thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
One more thing. It gets worse. Just one more thing. It gets worse. So I have a link because I was looking up his name, and I actually found his name pop up on Open Secrets. Open Secrets, that place where you can find all your donor lookups. And I came across a few like familiar names, ranging from Hillary Clinton to Rahm Emanuel, who used to be part of the Obama administration, to Gavin Newsom, to Dianne Feinstein, and apparently to even a Republican Party of Georgia. I mean, so yeah, this guy has been around a long time. He's been, donating left and right.
The more you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I've posted that stuff on Substack as like notes
Interesting.
basically. So it's on my Substack profile if you want to take a look at it more. But it's just insane.
Well, I think what you're saying
Do
makes
you
me
ever
think we gotta one of these days we gotta focus in on like stuff like Roblox and the kind of currency sort of systems that they have about getting, like, I think it's called Robux. So they have like virtual currency in video games, and I feel like in the direction of this cryptocurrency stuff, we're gonna see our kids kind of being marketed cryptocurrency through the video games and whatnot they're playing. So that's something that we should kind of revisit sometime in the near future.
Absolutely, and and honestly, guys, I that's something I'm not looking forward to like hearing more about, because I feel like it's just what could go wrong effectively. Let's see. So I think next year, since we're talking about video games, that Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto 5, no, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, that's
This
what
whole
I'm
hype around, oh, we're gonna implement crypto into the game. I don't know how that's gonna work. I think it's a terrible idea to begin with. I mean, as I jokingly also say in chat sometimes, I jokingly say that Grand Theft Auto 5 was the last proper GTA game. But, Rockstar is a AAA company. They're going to find a way to, convince enough suckers to, play their games.
Yeah. VR goggles to come to mind. They're going to kind of use to sell this like fake currency in a fake virtual world. And it doesn't matter if it's fake because it feels so real.
I would certainly hope not, but just have to wait and see.
Yes. So is
So
that?
I found.
There you go.
Can you stick around for these two articles? I found
Yes.
what I was trying to allude to. So let me see if I. So much stuff. Can't. See if I can find it. Here it
It's a
is.
great comment by Mastermind. I wouldn't be surprised. I think you might be saying if kids playing Roblox are actually crypto mining without knowing it. Yeah, good. Yeah, here's correcting. Yeah,
That is disturbing if that were true. Wow.
That's interesting.
food for thought.
That's interesting.
Food for thought, yeah.
Wait, that's not it. Okay. Sorry, okay, here it is. So I was partially correct. Okay, so here we go. So in 2025. Let me see. Trump family and deal talks with money laundering crypto exchange. So they're in talks with Shenpeng Zhao. I don't know if I'm saying that properly. He's the founder of Binance, and he spent like 4 months in prison. He pleaded guilty to money laundering, so he was allowing terrorists and criminals to launder money through his company. So they're not in, they haven't sealed a business deal yet, but they are in communication and talks. And then I found this one. So even though they're not like in contract, in a business contract, they still have ties with one another, because let me see if I can find. Basically, oh, here it is. The guy, the Binance founder, that was recently jailed for money laundering. He hired Trump Jr.'s linked lobbyists to seek presidential pardons amid $2 billion USD holdings. I thought it was something else in here. So maybe it was just that. Okay.
Real quick. So that article, AI Invest, I'll be honest with you. I was referencing those articles, but then I actually chose not to, only because I wasn't sure whether or not is that website actually run entirely by AI because of the namesake, AI Invest, or I don't know. It was just like an observation I made. I don't know if it's
Sounds like they're definitely pro AI.
Well, I can look it up. Right, but everybody's pro AI now.
They're probably like using AI to write articles and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like the information that's generally been presented, I mean, Right. I mean, it's definitely given.
So it says AI Invest is a. Oh, sorry. AI Invest. The reason why they call it that is because they use AI powered stock analysis in real time for market news and predictive tools for smarter trades. So they're using AI to kind of give people advice on what stocks to buy and trade and stuff like that.
Yeah. And another thing is probably a myth if we look into it as far as the what it offers, like the returns that it promises versus the returns you can actually get with it over time. Probably full of shit. Thanks for hanging out with us, Golden Monarch.
That my brain is about to explode, Golden Monarch.
I know. See, this is what I have to deal with
I'm definitely a
sometimes.
baby when it comes to crypto.
No worries. This is what I have to deal with. It's almost like case study QB with him having to watch those corporate media pundits. It's like, okay, after so long, I gotta like just take a break. It's too much. My head's about to explode. But yeah, no, guys, thanks so much for having me, and it's so good to see the family here in chat. And I love you all. And
and he's going on vacation, you guys. So let's wish him safe travels and relaxation.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a few weeks, but when I do come back, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But until then, I'm just sort of keeping a hush hush on it.
Get some sunshine, get a tan. Yeah.
I'll try. All right.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
Take care. Thanks for the info. Bye.
My pleasure. Bye.
Peace.
Bad Cookie says they want you to know nothing about crypto. It makes sure that they can sell it to you, sell you the lie before it collapses. I bought some crypto like years ago, and I never look at it or anything. It's just sitting there. I've actually bought Ripple. Like I didn't know it was named Ripple, but I bought XRP. So I bought a little bit of a lot of stuff.
Sometimes it pays off, right? Like a lot of people bought Bitcoin in the early days, and it did materially improve their conditions. So this is kind of the insidious thing about it. If we are not arguing diligently enough, people, the fact that they're able to effectively make money from it, individually speaking, some of us, makes it more difficult for them to understand or take us seriously our warnings that it's really not good for anybody, making everything work.
I was trying to check my because I bought Bitcoin. I was trying to see what it is now. I don't know.
Problem
Maybe
with
I
it though,
should have cashed it in a long time ago.
As much as it's supposed to be some kind of like way out of fiat currency, which is what a lot of people believe, like a hedge against inflation and whatnot, it really doesn't work that way. They have to be converted back into fiat in order for it to really kind of be more valuable. So that's more. It's like an investment tool or strategy more than anything.
Well, according to this, I've almost made $4,000.
Exactly.
Ahead of my investment.
But it's only $4,000.
I didn't even know that.
It's only $4,000 if you
cash it in,
or if you leave it back on the table to potentially evaporate, because it's just a casino game.
Yeah, because it's down right now. So I remember asking Golden Monarch before. I was like, should I cash in on my coins? Because this sounded bleak.
Also, if you listen to the crypto whatever orange pills, right? The guys who are the proselytizers of this new religion, they would have all these promises about how much of a bull market is waiting around the corner, and you should not cash in or whatever, because we're all about to hit the jackpot, baby, right? And that's exactly how they sucker people into making money for them, whatever, and losing money in the process. So buyer beware.
Well, buyer beware. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that. I'm still trying to figure it out. I do have like some crypto. When I see stuff, I like just put it there so I could research it later. But it's people say like I should have asked Gold Monarch this. Feel like people conflate the term blockchain a lot. Like they don't really know what blockchain means, so they're calling crypto blockchain, which isn't blockchain the mechanism that's supposed to make crypto secure. Shoot, I might not know what it means.
Well, I feel like from a bit of a Marxist perspective on this, maybe like a good analogy we can make as far as blockchain is about like paper. We have to remember the concept of
the notebook, like you keep adding to the notebook.
But what I'm saying is money is made of historically paper, right? And that's all it is, right? But then by treating it like something that it's not, by reifying it, we manage to kind of hallucinate into being this all powerful, tool that we have. But at the end of the day, it's something versatile. Paper could be used for all kinds of different things, and yet what it mostly ends up being treated as is money, right? And then same thing with blockchain. Blockchain can be used to do non-economic kind of like if we weren't so obsessed with money or whatever, we'd be trying to turn its value into more of a use value. But instead, we're focused on using it as an exchange value because that's the box we're taught to think inside. So, how's it going, Extra Bulla? Good to see you.
Hi, Extra Bulla. So I found the culprit. His name is Steve. Oh shoot, what is that doing? Steve Witkoff. So he's business partners with. Why is this doing that?
I think Bad Cookies got it right. He asked it earlier in the chat. Witkoff.
What he asked? What?
Mentioned.
Oh, okay.
For whose name was? It sounded like Cookies came up with it first.
So he knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Cookies, so Steve Witkoff is. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying he's in the know. He knows what's up. So.
Yes, he knows what's up. So Steve Witkoff is Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr.'s partner.
One of many, I guess.
But they're in business under. I'm trying to like I'm watching this so I could say what it says. There is something to do with World Liberty Financial. He owns 60% of the business and gets 75% of the net revenue from the business. Now, who is that? Hold on now. Maybe I have to pull it up so everybody could just watch it. I'm going to email it to myself so we could just watch it together.
Sure.
That's too confusing because I can't hear it. I'm just trying to, whatever.
Welcome back, Jack. Hey, how's it going, Mouse SF? Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Mousy. All right, let me see if I got it. I appreciate your patience while I'm looking for this because I'm kind of tired. I don't think I want to talk Venezuela.
Oh, that's right.
Cookies that's okay.
Sorry. Cookie said Zach Witkoff is Steve Witkoff's son. So thank you for the.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Who said that? Who just said that? Oh, Bad Cookies. Yes. Steve Witkoff is like the dude that is he's like involved in. Well, I'll just play a video.
He's one of the people in the Trump administration, Steve Witkoff. I feel like I've heard that name, but I'm not an American, so I don't really follow all the same people.
He's like friends with Daddy. He's friends with Daddy Trump.
Right, and then his son's friends with Baby Trump.
Trump and his
it's
son
just
is friends with Baby Trump. Exactly. Well, they're also business partners.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell? Let's try it this way. Appreciate
Yeah.
your
See, I think Mouse is saying Steve Witkoff's the Secretary of State.
patience,
Yeah.
everybody. I'm working on.
Yeah. Pardon our amateur.
Steve Witkoff is what?
Is Steve Witkoff the Secretary of State? Maybe I'll briefly look that up. My computer's running a bit slow. I don't anything I do.
Amateur hour over here. All right.
Just a little bit of moment of peace or whatever. I hope everyone has a nice little. I try not to. I've been maybe typically fearful of dead air, so I'm always trying to find something to talk about. It's nice to just chill for a moment.
Sit. News. Can you look up Steve?
You know, I can look it up because now it's like you're glitching out, so it doesn't seem to matter which one. But
Steve Witkoff.
Yeah. Mouse says he does Rubio's job for him.
He's an American lawyer and real estate investor. He served as a United States lawyer to the UN Special Envoy for Peace Missions.
Right, I see.
He's a founder and chairman of the Witkoff Group of Real Estate Investment. So,
whoops. Oh, looks like Abby just dropped out. Yeah, Mastermind's saying exactly. I can't look up anything because my CPU is overclocked. Yeah. I need to spend all those hours that I've been spending on before just trying to bring this old computer, whatever, back to life. And it's just something you got to do if you want to be a streamer, you know. You got to learn how to do the technical side. So I need to reinstall like the antivirus software and stuff. That's kind of my problem now. I fixed something, but I didn't replace the stuff that I had to wipe. So now I'm kind of back in it. So, but we were getting a bit on a side tangent again with the Steve Witkoff. Kind of trying to remember what were we talking about before that we ended up talking about him so much. We were talking about the just establishing Abby's point, I guess, about Trump Jr.'s business partner was arrested for money laundering, and now they're back in business, of course. So I think Abby's just sent me a message here, so maybe see if her computer crashed. Hopefully not. But, yeah, she's saying she's frozen. So she's sending me a link here, but I'm not techie enough to get the link from my phone up onto the computer smoothly. So I have a few other links of my own, some articles I can share maybe to see if she's going to be coming back. So I was looking up a little bit of crypto news just to kind of keep with the theme. So there was two Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, crypto related news that caught my eye just when I went searching for crypto news. And the first was, let me see. Oops. I gotta share my screen, but now I'm frozen a little bit. I wait for it to come back. I can't even click on a different tab. I gotta close some tabs or something, but now it's a little too late. Oh, Abby's coming back here. I'm just gonna share my screens anyway, since I mentioned it, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll just briefly cover it while she figures out the tech jitters. So this article, U.S. from AOL.com, U.S. DOJ or Reuters, since that's what it's got down there. U.S. DOJ to back off money transmitter cases in shift backed by crypto. So the people being supposed to be regulated are telling the regulators what to do, what could go wrong. The U.S. Justice Department does not plan to target software developers that create decentralized platforms for transmitting cryptocurrencies without criminal intent, a justice official said on Thursday, which is today, I believe, marking the latest sign of the U.S. government's changing views on crypto, allegedly changing views. Acting Assistant Attorney General Matthew Galliotti of the DOJ's Criminal Division said the department will move away from bringing charges over failure to register as a money transmitter business. So our view is that merely writing code without ill intent is not a crime. Yeah, well, obviously, that's the kind of I learned a new term. Maybe I should share with you because that's what this makes me think of. It's called the Mott and Bailey fallacy, or whatever argument style. Like they're trying to saying that it's just writing code without ill intent is the Mott, and the Bailey is the more controversial argument. So the Mott is like the easily defensible argument that you can make, and this is something that we can all agree on, that just writing code without ill intent should not be considered a crime. So this kind of makes it hard for us to argue against the true controversial thing that they're defending, which is why are they failing to register businesses as money transmitter businesses that should be registered as such, whatever. That's the controversy they're trying to get away with, slip down that slippery slope or whatever, drag us down it by offering up the Mott and the Bailey. Sorry, that was a long-winded thing as usual. Thanks for rejoining us, Abby. How's it going? Did you solve your tech issues?
Thanks for your patience. So look, I'm vindicating myself. Like I didn't. So Binance is involved in this. So they're not business partners, but they are. Well, you'll see. I'm going to share it. So we have to go down this rabbit hole, and then hopefully I have too many things up. I think my computer is like chill.
Right. Well, while you're calling
Chill,
something
Abby
up, I mentioned that I had 2 crypto-related stories, so I just told them about the first one, and so I think I'll just play that video I mentioned, or you can play it that I shared earlier about the Bitcoin traders are positioned for Jackson Hole, what Powell's big speech could mean for crypto. So in the news, noteworthy news of the day, people should take note of the fact that Jerome Powell's got a big speech about the interest rate pause or cut tomorrow or something like that, tomorrow morning. So the crypto bros are all positioning their investments based on whether or not the rate. I think from what I was reading, they were anticipating that he is not going to do a rate cut, but it's hard to figure out the 340 chess going on when you're not privy to the insider trading. So, sorry, go on, Abby.
Oh, you're fine. My computer's just super, super slow. Okay, here we go. Yeah, hi, Lance. Good to see you here. This might be a good time while I'm waiting for my computer to move to say like, share, and subscribe, right?
Right.
It helps the algorithm. Okay, it doesn't want to cooperate.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to play your video at this point.
Maybe I'll just try it.
But you can pull up your article.
Yeah. I'll read a bit of this article, and maybe I'll try and play the video from my end. We'll see if that works, because it seems like it might just be glitchy either way. So this is this article came out today by Crystal Kim on MSN.com, which I should stop clicking on to find the low-hanging fruit for an article. but we're a bit pressed for time today. So, Bitcoin traders position for Jackson Hole, what Powell's big speech could mean for crypto. The key takeaways: Bitcoin traders were selling ahead of Jerome Powell's highly anticipated speech Friday morning at the Jackson Hole Economic Policy Symposium, preparing for the possibility that the Fed chair fails to signal that an interest rate cut is likely in September. I find this language a bit unnecessarily complicated. So, preparing for the possibility that the Fed chair signals that they're not going to do an interest rate cut, but they're using the word fails intentionally here for whatever reason. So keep that whatever in mind, maybe. But Bitcoin options pricing indicated bearishness across time horizons, and then the secular bull for Bitcoin may not be over yet, analysts say. This term I had to look up today, secular bull, and it's one of those out of touch with reality financial terms that these bros whatever throw around, and it's basically like a really long bull market that's markets only going, line only go up, never go down kind of thing. And so yeah, fuck that shit. We're definitely not in a big bull market right now. We're in a recession, but if the Bitcoin people want to make believe that they're in a bull market while the rest of us are in a recession or whatever, then I guess they should be allowed to, right? Let's indulge some schizophrenia, right? Always going to be a good idea, right? No, we got to push back on irrational nonsense. I'm sorry if it hurts some feelings. I will not risk my own rational, my own sanity for indulging in other people's fantasies. So I'm sorry if that's offensive, but that's what I have to do for myself and others. So Bitcoin traders have been in profit-taking mode ahead of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's highly anticipated speech on Friday, betting on an upset. That's evident in the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency, which has fallen about 10% from its all-time high price of $124,290 on August 14th as of Thursday afternoon. While consensus expectations continue to anticipate a rate cut in September, which I don't know why they would, because if they do a rate cut, they're going to unleash inflation all over again, and the American economy is extremely fragile because Donald Trump's moronic tariff wars have failed to pan any kind of effective improvement for American markets. So the only thing that you should be anticipating is a freeze on rate cuts from what I gather, but I'm not a financial guru. Don't take my advice, obviously. So digital asset traders appear to be positioned for Powell to adopt a hawkish tone tomorrow and not signal that a cut is likely. And signal that a cut is not likely. Like, why don't you speak normally, you fucking crypto bros? So the Coinbase Binance spread, or the price discrepancy in spot Bitcoin between the US's largest publicly traded exchange and the world's largest exchange, moved into discount territory, which indicated strong US spot selling, according to Sean Farrell, Fundstrat's head of digital asset strategy. It does seem anecdotally that the consensus is that Jay Powell will be net hawkish as opposed to dovish, Farrell said on Tuesday, adding that risk aversion was also indicated in Bitcoin options pricing across time horizons. So if we want to just kind of, just as Powell's tone could make or break the stock market rally, it could blunt some of the momentum that has been driving Bitcoin prices higher, because they are maybe they're trying to decide how much they need to pivot towards Bitcoin as the next global reserve currency, or how much they're going to try and continue pouring energy into saving the declining US dollar, right? So what is Jerome Powell going to do? Lower interest rates generally drive investors to take more risk, which would boost appetites for stocks and other speculative assets like crypto. The upside is that the weakness seen in the days leading up to the speech could put in a bottom before the big event. In other words, sell the rumor, buy the news. So we could watch this little video instead of just continuing on with that article. I feel like I was not sharing my screen. My bad. But do you want to watch that video that that?
Are you supposed to be showing? Are you supposed to be showing something?
I had been reading from the article. I didn't realize it.
I thought I was frozen, and that's why I didn't see it. But no, you weren't sharing.
Just because I guess
So
yours.
hopefully people could follow along.
It was weird because your screen was supposed to be on stage, but nothing was on stage from either of our screens. But this was just the article that I was just reading, so that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you could hear me.
Yes, you can. And my video finally pulled up. It's so slow.
Okay. Cool. So let me let's hear from this guy for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we'll play your video, and we'll see if we got anything else to talk about, and maybe get out of here. Oh no, she just crashed out again. So I guess we'll be playing this video from my end for a few minutes while we wait for her to rejoin us, and hopefully this plays smoothly for you. So I'm just gonna, without further ado.
I think right now the market is panic selling or sort of reacting to the macroeconomic trends. I think you might see Bitcoin slide a little bit further, but as I previously said, I think the end of this year, Bitcoin 150,000 is within reach. I think that within the next 4 years, you could see Bitcoin between 400,000 and 500,000, because there's only 3 to 5 million Bitcoin transacting at any given time, and the market is modeling off of 21 million in circulation. So when you look at somebody coming in to set up a strategic reserve, for instance, that takes quite a bit of supply off the market. The market has to react to that. So just like you just saw an oversell based on economic news, the macroeconomic factors, I think what you could see is people exuberantly buying based on supply constraints. And I think that's just going to drive the price up.
So is it just a supply dynamic that pushes Bitcoin to these prices, or there's something fundamental? And that's the thing I think that some people like scratch their heads with. They know, like, when I buy a stock, I'm getting a piece of a company. I'm getting a piece of their earnings. I'm getting dividend. When I buy a bond, I'm getting a coupon. I'm getting interest rate. When I'm buying Bitcoin, when I'm buying Ethereum, what value am I actually getting to then understand where that value can go?
Well, if I could back up a little bit, Bitcoin started off as a protest vote against inflationary central bank policies. And I think it served its purpose to designate that people were skeptical of what was going on there. But what it's become is almost like a national strategic initiative for countries to and large-scale financial institutions to hedge against the performance of inflationary assets, and to also allow people to settle in a currency that's not denominated in dollars. So when you look at it that way, if the United States moves forward and sets up a strategic reserve, then every other country has to react and gain a piece of the future money supply. So what you get is you get an ownership in the future money supply of a non-dollar asset, where you can settle deals outside of the dollar, or you can perform transactions outside of the dollar, but you own a piece of that future economy. So I think from a strategic perspective, as an individual investor, it just makes sense to try to gain some of that.
So I kind of thought that was worth sharing. It sounds to me like you're saying the quiet part out loud. When they're talking about an individual investor, we can retranslate back into better, accurate language. That's the capitalist. As a bourgeois, you can see where the winds are blowing, and you can get away from this falling U.S. dollar that's only going to go down from here on out, basically. And you can buy into the next global reserve currency, which is the U.S. dollar 2.0, which is Bitcoin, basically. So, thoughts on that?
Well, I wasn't here for all of it, so
yeah, sorry.
I can't really speak on it. I don't know why my whatever keeps going in and out, but yeah, okay. So here, I can share now. I think my computer is like trying to do better.
All right, hopefully it's gonna work. So we'll take advantage of it while it's working before it gets screwed up.
Yes. So I was close to where I was trying to go, but this is going to wrap it all up in a bow, hopefully. And hi, Jimmy. Hi, Kill Your Egregores.
Jimmy, I didn't see there.
And
Cobra
dude is Eric Trump. Wait, I think that's an old picture. Yes, this is Eric Trump now. Eric and Zaki are business partners in a crypto business. This one, World Liberty Financial. The Trump family owns 60% of this business and gets 75% of the net revenue from the business. This is Eric and Zach on stage in Dubai yesterday, where it was announced that the UAE's ruling family will use $2 billion of Trump family crypto to invest in another crypto company, Binance, which incidentally recently paid a $4.3 billion fine for violating money laundering laws, but that's another story. Now, it's speculated that the Trump family is likely to make, get this, $75 million from this deal yesterday while doing virtually nothing. And if the UAE's rulers wanted to invest in Binance, they could have done so with cash and didn't have to pay the Trump family all of that money. But wait, that's not the end of the story. This is Zach's daddy, Steve Witkoff, who is Donald Trump's friend and just coincidentally happens to be America's special envoy to the Middle East. So the fathers of these two knuckleheads are making U.S. policy with the Middle East. And here's another picture of Steve Witkoff with, guess who? Jared Kushner from season 1 of the Trump debacle. And Jared coincidentally got $3 billion from Arab countries just 6 months after he left the White House. And speaking of the Trump family making money, there's Eric again in the Middle East. They're likely to make a ton of money from this deal with a Qatar-backed government firm, incidentally. And all of this is great timing, since in 2 weeks, the Donald himself is going to visit Qatar and the UAE and Saudi Arabia, where incidentally the Trump family has 2 new projects in the works. So in conclusion, maybe it's impossible to drain the swamp when you're doing so much business in the desert. What do you think?
So is that why he got? Is that why he?
Melanin and semiconductor.
Right.
So sorry.
Okay, sorry. Not the thing was kept going. So he came back with an entire plane after that. So that's not a coinky dink.
Yeah, who knows what had actually ended up happening with that? But that's. I was just trying to remember. It's one big incestuous circle of folks, and it's a good thing you're not in it. Yeah.
So I just have 2 comments. I don't have to pull anything up for these, but the Bitcoin mines are like ruining neighborhoods. Is the noise decibel that comes out of it? It's like a buzzing sound, and it's higher than the normal decibels that human beings should be able to hear to still like keep their sanity and remain calm. And people are like complaining about headaches, like they can't sleep, they can't sell their homes because who wants to live there? So they're kind of just stuck next to these Bitcoin mines, and that's. I was like, how could I live like that? And then what are you gonna do? The only thing you can do is just leave your house and go start a life somewhere else. But you need the equity in your home to do that.
Elephant in the room of the entire crypto conversation is we're forgetting. It's like it literally just gets bleaker and bleaker the more that you uncover about the problems of crypto. And it's where I don't understand how people want to still have this like delusional, like it's hopium, right? They just have this faith in it because all otherwise, we got nothing to save us, right? So it better work, right? But it sucks a shit ton of electricity, so your electric bills go up because everyone's into crypto, and because it's using all that electricity, it's increasing the use of the grid, which means more climate change indirectly, as we use more fuel to fuel the grid. So sorry to break it to you, but it's all bullshit. Makes everything
I
worse
think
for
the problem with the data mining ones is I think it's something about the lights. Um,
Yeah,
like
and it's bad for us physically. All
Elon
this
Musk data
technology.
mining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And so Rondo had mentioned, well, two really good points. Bad Cookies was saying, like, if you ask AI to do something, then you don't own the intellectual property of what it outputs.
right.
So, like he said, for example, if I asked it to write code, then he wouldn't own the code.
But then in some
So,
ironic way, that might grant you some kind of legal indemnity or whatever the term is. You wouldn't be able to be held accountable,
if
because we're trying to talk about money launderers. If the AI writes the code, like they're already trying to say, if a person writes the code without intent, they're not guilty. But the clever arms race with the law to think about there would be get the AI to write the code, and then you don't even have to talk about the human intent, because the AI has no intent. So you just can't prosecute them. It's just impossible, whatever. People want to buy into the mind fuck.
whew, that's something else. Remember the people who created AI said they went to Congress. They went to Congress on their own and said, this could go bad. We need you to regulate us. Like begging for regulation, because they already know. Like they I can't remember where I got this from. I was watching something. This man was talking about how they were trying to see if the AI would like listen to everything you say and not go rogue or whatever. So they tested.
Yeah.
And they had mentioned something about shutting down the system. And he said this particular AI was like going through corporate emails, looking for dirt.
It's really not hard
the people.
it's not hard to understand what they're how stupid they are to give the AI so much power. They're teaching it how to write code, right? They're teaching it how to predict and invest and have the autonomy to make its own investments on the market like a human being. So you're teaching it how to make code and to invest, and then you're going to teach it to seek profit. So what are you just taught it how to do? You taught it how to take down markets, because that's how people have been taught how to invest. But if it sees a way to make profit by destroying the market, now you've created an AI that can nuke your market. Good for you.
Yes. So I wasn't planning on. I have no. I haven't like looked this up to confirm this because I didn't think we would be talking about AI today. But since we are, just take this with a grain of salt because I haven't done any research. Okay. But when you said teaching it how to write code, made me think of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and show it.
Teaching the robots how to make the robots. It's trying to destroy the validity of the labor theory of value. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Oops.
I think some wrong button got clicked. But I was just saying.
Did I just remove him?
I think so. But they're just using.
That was my bad. Let me bring him back. Or can you bring yourself back?
I was back.
There we go.
But there's a delay, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I was just.
No, that wasn't me that time.
All I'm trying to say to make it clear, in case I'm being confused, all this stuff about AI, crypto, teaching the robots how to build a robot it is kind of validating that they're terrified of Marx's labor theory of value being vindicated in the eyes of the working class, because they need to destroy our ability to prove that value is created through human labor, So they're trying to establish that robots can create value in and of themselves or whatever, and cut the middleman of human labor out. That's what it's all about. So
Yes. And Kieran, hello. I didn't see you were there, so my bad. That's my bad. Good to see you. Now, I did want to mention this about. Well, we'll come back on the other end.
Oh, happy day! They're restarting the nuclear reactors on 3 Mile Island, also known as America's Chernobyl. We're so excited. And what's that? They're not going to be using it to power homes or electric cars or hospitals. 3 Mile Island's nuclear reactor is only going to be used by Microsoft in a 20-year contract to power data centers that are being used for AI. Oh, and what's that? The reason why this is the only nuclear power reactor being restarted in recent American history is because Microsoft trained AI language models to understand nuclear regulatory paperwork to fill out the 2 million pages worth of documents needed to turn back.
No plans. Sorry.
Oh, happy day. They're restarting the nuclear reactors on 3 Mile Island, also known as America's Chernobyl. We're so excited. And what's that? They're not going to be using it to power homes or electric cars or hospitals. 3 Mile Island's nuclear reactor is only going to be used by Microsoft in a 20-year contract to power data centers that are being used for AI. Oh, and what's that? The reason why this is the only nuclear power reactor being restarted in recent American history is because Microsoft trained AI language models to understand nuclear regulatory paperwork to fill out the 2 million pages worth of documents needed to turn back on this generator that only they will use for 825 megawatts. Oh, and what's that? The company is not going to call it 3 Mile Island. They're rebranding it. Great.
of course.
Okay, I'm
on 3 Mile Island. Also.
Okay.
Okay,
right,
so I don't have any proof that this is accurate, but yeah. 825 megawatts is pretty that's pretty significant.
Yeah. It only sounds like the future birthplace of Skynet, No big deal. Nothing to see here.
No big deal. Nothing to see here, folks.
Okay, so I think
interesting. I have to
I think just before we forget to cover it before we get out of here, you were saying you wanted to say something about Venezuela, from what I remember earlier. Did we cover that?
I mean, I'm just tired, so I wanted to talk about Venezuela, but I'm tired now. But things are unfolding, so I think it would be better if we talk about it next week, because I'll just say really quickly that the Supreme Court ruled against temporary protective status for all Venezuelans in the United States. So that's 350,000 people that will be deported back to Venezuela. Then Trump just sent 5,000 Marines, but they're sending a U.S. warship, so it has to. I'm assuming the Navy has to be involved. Or maybe they're dropping them off. I don't know. I was gonna read the articles with you guys, but it's probably better that I stand back and do it later. But what I do know is they're sending 5,000 Marines.
Yeah.
Yes, and then so Maduro mobilized 4.5 million troops. So I don't know what those 5,000 people are going to do against 4.5 million. But hey, and there's other things, but we can talk about it. Like their economy was doing much better last year, but the sanctions are really hurting them. The U.S. sanctions.
Well, they were denied BRICS membership by Brazil, so that would have been something that would have benefited them. But they seem to be caught out in the wind a bit with this trade war. You're right.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week, unless something else blows up
That'll
in
be
our
good
faces.
foreign policy in a sense, but it was a domestic policy decision that caught you onto that with the. And what that, by the way, that's not a whole bunch. Send a whole bunch of comrades back to Venezuela. That's all the Gusano anti-communists that fled the Venezuelan Marxists there.
Yeah,
And
that's
they want to
like I
send them
don't
all
feel
back
bad for the.
as if
Oh,
they're
go
trying to
ahead.
start a coup. I'm saying it's like sending all the Gusanos back that are pissed them off or whatever, and try and hope that it ends up in a coup somehow. It's just,
Oh,
yeah,
you know
well,
what? That's a good strategy. I mean, that's like
yeah.
wow. I wasn't when he started deporting Cubans. I was indifferent because you fled Cuba anyway because you're the you know why you fled Cuba because you're the rich ones, the rich, well-to-do, light-skinned Cubans that didn't want to share the wealth. So I'm
But yeah,
like, yay, send them back, send them back. Hi, Cobra. I don't know if I said hello to you, and I think that's everybody.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I think that's everything too. I think maybe that seems like a good place to start wrapping it up. So, do we have any? I think we have a couple GoFundMe's we should probably pitch. I
oh
guess.
yes. Cowboy Kitty. Um,
Yonina has a fundraiser too, and
that's right. She put it in Discord, right? Can you
yeah,
pull those up? Cause
I got all three. So I got Hard Lens Media too. We can wrap with. So starting with Cowboy Kitty's fundraiser. Um, I don't recall seeing Kitty in the chat here tonight, but
I don't know
hopefully
why that just did that.
he'll be
Yeah,
able to
I didn't see him in the chat, but
maybe he'll be able to update us on, give us an updated status on anything that's if he's heard anything from his. Oh, we lost it again here. It's probably still more the situation for now likely unchanged, considering we haven't heard any breaking news about her being free. So I believe he is still searching for people to share his GoFundMe. Let me grab the link and put it in the chat too, so we can put that on screen. And then
yeah,
if you
I
have any
forgot to.
money, please donate. If you had, sorry, that's just what I wanted to.
Oh, because you're gonna put it on the screen. So just so you know, I put Golden Monarch Substack down there because we forgot to do that earlier. So if you
I
guys
think we could fit
haven't
it all.
checked out his Substack, that's it right there. Golden Monarch News. Okay. Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing, Michael.
There we go. Just making a comment there, and then we pop that there. Look, we got everything perfectly, so that you get all
Okay.
your whatever. I don't know what you call those, but anyway, yeah. Please support Natalia in her legal fight with ICE if you have the inclination and the heart to do so, and the means to do so. And so, moving on. Also, we have another comrade of ours in need. This is Yonina. Help Yonina and Empress Kitty find stability. She's suffering what many of us are currently battling, which is an eviction threat. So I will grab that link and put that in the chat. And like I said before, if you have the inclination and the heart and the means to do so, please, I encourage you to support Yonina. Because we could all stand to have a
little help sometimes.
A little bit of a hero coming to our rescue.
Oh, that's
a bit of
if
a
you
long
delete, well, you could delete everything after the question mark. That's metadata.
Okay, good.
So you could delete everything after stability.
I'll clean that up. I was seeing somebody share a post about that kind of thing. Some of this metadata in these links are actually, if we can cut it and still use the link, it doesn't break the link. We want to probably do that because they're embedding like trackers for people who click on these links, if we put the metadata in the link, where if it's still in there, or whatever, basically we're giving it permission to function or something. So I don't know enough about that stuff. I need
Yeah,
a
we all have an ID. So like so say you look at your Facebook, right? Go to your Facebook links and you'll notice this at the end of them, they all have like the same like block of characters at the end, characters and numbers. Well, that is your specific ID for you, for your Facebook. So it travels with you. Like if you share it, if you open it in other places, it gives Google Analytics gives all that information, all that data. Where did you open it? Like what location? How many times have you opened it? Where did you send it? Stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then finally we've got Kit Cabello is asking for help to defend his fight for free speech and fair use from a movie director. He's in a legal battle, I believe, for the rights to the name of Hardlands Media, but I've kind of maybe forget some of the details, so I apologize if I have confused some of that. So I can do the same thing with this link then too, just anything after the question mark.
Yeah, you could take off the question mark, but whatever.
I can take. Okay.
So Kit said he's gonna come on the show. We're trying to figure out a Thursday that he's available. He wasn't available this Thursday.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So we can talk about it in more detail and then talk about other shit that's going on in this world around us. I just want to get off this planet.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice?
But it's not my time yet.
And here we go. There is the final link there. So if I'll say it for the third time just to do the conditioning right. If you have the heart and the inclination and the means to do so, please support Kit Cabello in his fight to defend free speech and fair use. So thanks everyone for watching. Maybe I should leave that up a bit longer. Thanks everyone for watching, for tuning back in. If you're become a bit of a regular, I appreciate you. Couldn't do this without you. We are actually very close to 200 subscribers.
Appreciate you.
So if there's 7 of you out there watching who want to subscribe and help us out, please, you could do it. We'd love you.
Oh, help us out. Yeah, that would be awesome. And yes, we do love you. And we appreciate you showing up when you can. And when we can't, we miss you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We got a outro.
My clicker's taking too long. There we go.
Let's just go to the music then. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time.
Bye. That's the most horrible outro we've ever had.
I had a bad outro and a bad intro. But how we're rolling today, whatever. So
I'm gonna let you hit it. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you hit it.
Okay, I'll just put on the music. Peace, everyone. Love and solidarity. Peace.
Huh?